Hey guys, so today I just wanted to share with you some of my kind of old favorites that I have called on for many years when it comes to dealing with feelings of stress especially, and just overwhelm and the things that any normal person has to deal with nowadays. We often don't have time to kind of separate ourselves from what's happening. And what I love about the oils is you can kind of do that, create that space in a quick second just by using an essential oil. So I'm going to show you a couple of my favorites and how I use those. So I'm going to start with one that you probably know is going to be top on the list. And maybe you've already used some form of this essential oil. And that is lavender. Lavender is super simple, super special. It's got so many different uses in our home medicine cabinet. But one of the top reasons that we love it so much is even when we're using it for other things like that might be cuts and scrapes, burns, all of those things, those wounds, injuries, things that are uncomfortable. Not only does it deal and help healing in those things, it actually calms you down, especially when you're talking about kids. It just really can help give them some calm in those moments of almost hysteria, right? So we love lavender, and the simplest way to use lavender is just directly. And now always it benefits you to dilute, and you can get some pre-made diluted options like our Lavender Touch. But lavender is a pretty safe and gentle oil to use neat, straight out of the bottle. And usually what that looks like is me just going like that and then applying it to the area that I need it. And for me, when I'm using it for anxiety or anxious feelings, I will put it over my heart. And then not only is it over my heart, which feels good, it smells right there. You know, you can breathe it in really well. Sometimes I'll just put a drop in my hand and make a diffuser in my hand. And just take 30 seconds to breathe that in deeply, calmly, with some rhythm. If you can get, you know, the breathe in 4, breathe out 4, breathe that in 4. And then you actually count for 4 and then breathe out 4 and count for 4. So it's these 4 in, hold, out, hold for a count of 4. And that can really, it's very controlled breathing is very effective, especially when you're combining it with using aromatherapy at the same time. All right, next up is this guy. I actually didn't love this when I started. It was a little too woodsy for me, but now it's one of my go-tos, and I have for the last 5 years fallen for this oil in a way that I will never run out of having balance. It is a blend specifically designed for grounding. It has black spruce and blue tansy, frankincense, and some other really amazing grounding oils that just give you this sense of feeling fully supported, like your roots are just firmly planted and you're not shaken anymore. So these are feelings that we all need more of, right? So using balance as a regular part of my day is really important, and I try to use it before I go to bed. I try to use it like first thing in the morning on my feet. If I'm doing yoga or exercise of any kind, it's really helpful. And in those moments where I'm especially overwhelmed, this is my go-to oil. Oh, and it's so good. It is wonderful in diffuser as well. So if the whole house is feeling a little chaotic, put some in the diffuser. I love it, especially combined with something like wild orange, which brings me to my next all-time favorite, and that's tangerine. Tangerine is super simple, super refreshing. It's very invigorating. Like all of the citrus oils, it has a lot of uplift, and can really help when you're feeling dreary. If every time the sun is not shining, if I'm feeling like, you know, that sad, that seasonal affective disorder, call on those citrus oils, bring them out, because they are little balls of sunshine, aren't they? They grow in the sunshine. They really are like little balls of sunshine. So I highly encourage you to call on those citrus oils as the days get shorter, and those feelings of just kind of like, why am I even getting out of bed? I mean, the sun's not out. Why should I be out? Pull out your citrus oils. And the simplest way to use these as a part of your regular routine is to add a drop of a citrus oil, whichever you choose. Tangerine is a great one. Lemon is a great one. Grapefruit is one of my favorites. You can add a drop of that to your water, and that will help you drink more water. It makes your water taste better, and also it invigorates you, but it does a lot of really great things for your body on the inside as well. So tangerine is really, really great. Also wonderful in the diffuser. So you could combine that with lavender, you could combine that with balance, you could combine that with frankincense. So frankincense doesn't need any help, right? Frankincense is the help. Frankincense enhances the benefits of all the other oils, but on its own is just like wisdom in a bottle. I've never said that before, but I think I just coined it. So frankincense, it really is. It's just, it's this very woodsy, resiny oil. It smells like a tree, and not a tree maybe you're familiar with, but a tree nonetheless. We have this ability to kind of recognize some of those flavors, but it's just very spiritual. If you've ever gone to a lot of religious places have incense, and frankincense, right? That's where that comes from. So incense is connected to this spiritual nature for so many different reasons. And when you're thinking about feeling anxious, stressed, overwhelmed, a lot of that is on a spiritual level, on an emotional and spiritual level. We're not feeling connected spiritually. We're not feeling grounded spiritually. And so we really want to nourish our spirits. And frankincense is a really great way to do that. And so how do I use it? You might ask. So I will take frankincense. Again, I put a little bit on the tip of my finger, not even a drop, right? I'll rub it on my heart. I'll rub it on right here between my eyes, on my forehead. And there's so many different reasons I'm not going to get into that this is a really good place to apply oils. The third eye is a real thing. You can do some research on it. It's a real thing. It's where our mind is kind of... it's just a good spot. And then behind the ears is another really great spot. And then also the wrists can be a really great spot. So those are traditionally where people apply perfume for a very good reason. We have a very good, and perfume, let's remember too, originally was all plant-based. It was all these healing medicinal plants. Now it's a lot of synthetics and fragrances, and so we want to be really careful about those. But putting the plants in these areas where the skin is thin, it gets into our bloodstream really quickly and does the job that it's supposed to do. So you can see me applying all of these oils, right? I'm using all of these oils. I'm not using too much. One of the keys that I will tell you is mixing it up is really important. A lot of times we'll get stuck in a system of like using lavender in the same place every single day, or wild orange, or balance even. And really the best way to use the oils is to find 4 or 5 that work for one thing for you, and maybe not even that many, 2 or 3, and just mix it up on a regular basis. What that does is it triggers different elements in our body, and gives us a new sort of spin on things. Now, when you think about eating food, you can't eat the same food every single day. You may love avocados. They have lots of omega-3s and rich and fatty acids that are good for us. But you can't just live on avocados, right? You can't eat avocado meal after meal after meal to get those things. You're going to have to turn to different sources to get those things. And the same thing with the oils. We want to mix it up and make it a colorful salad, not just a one shade of oil salad. Love that analogy. Okay, so now moving on to, I have 2 more to share with you. One is elevation. Now, I talked about that. Picking the citrus oils and using them, they're like sunshine, balls of sunshine. This is like sunshine in a bottle. Elevation is so elevating. It's exactly what it is. It's cheerful. It's bright, and sweet. I love elevation. I will say it's a pretty strong oil. So not strong in terms of when you smell it, it's like an overwhelming scent, like some of the others. Maybe I think even peppermint on its own can have a little bit more of an overwhelming flavor, but the elevation lasts for a long time. So you'll put it on and throughout the day you'll be like, I still smell that. I still am picking up notes of that elevation, and it's very just joyful. It's known as the joyful blend. So I would highly encourage you to have that and try that. It also has an oil called Melissa in there. If you're not familiar, Melissa is one of the most powerful oils for uplifting mood. And so, Melissa is actually our most expensive oil. So buying the elevation is a way to get your hands on that, the incredible properties that Melissa offers without breaking the bank. So we love elevation. It's amazing. I think it's wonderful. You can make a roller bottle out of that. Again, applying in those places that I was talking about with the frankincense, just like a perfume. Or if you have a diffuser, a piece of jewelry that's a diffuser, then that would be a great place to use your elevation or any of these oils as well. Okay, one more. And that is Whisper. So the thing I love about Whisper, it's not everybody's jam. I'll admit that not everyone loves Whisper. And I kind of I'm sort of the same way with elevation. I really love elevation in the wintertime, but I don't love it as much in the summertime. And it's nice to have these kind of tools that I can flip-flop. But the Whisper is called a blend for women, but it's a very musky and sort of woodsy scent, and it's great for everyone. So it's not just for women, but it does have some sort of hormone balancing qualities, and so that's a great feature to have when you're talking about women in general, but all people benefit from that. So you can see I put a roller lid on this. And when the bottle was probably about halfway out, I filled it the rest of the way up with coconut oil so that it would just be diluted for me even more. And then you can apply it with these roller bottles that are handy. They fit in there. Now it's on, and oh my goodness. It's very much a perfume kind of a smell in a good way, like all our favorite perfumes. I can't remember the names of the ones that I really loved in high school and middle school, but that's really what it smells like. And the really neat thing about Whisper is it has this ability to blend with the chemistry of the individual who's wearing it. And so each person that wears it has sort of a different smell going on, a different quality. So we love Whisper. It's a great tool to have. And it does the same sort of, it's very soothing and quieting. So when you're feeling like you're in the middle of this racket and you can't calm or quiet the noise around you, Whisper is one of those you can pull out and just, you feel like it's just a soothing voice in the chaos. So these are some of my old staples, and I really wanted to share them, pull them out. We have a lot of new things going on in terms of products you can try for these needs, but I didn't want to lose sight of some of the things that have changed my life for the better over the last 7 years. So I hope that it's helpful tips for you. And if you have any questions, please post them below. And I can't wait to share even more content and information and education with you in our webinar on this specific topic. Love you guys. Have a great day.